obviously you're flying right now, some great results, but it's an FA Cup tie which I guess presents a different challenge. The players must feel like they can take on anyone right now though.
Yeah, listen, the boys are obviously in a good place. We've had a decent run. It's another game. It's another great opportunity for us to try and get better and put in a good performance. It's a tough game, I have to say. I think they're a terrific team. I think they're doing some really good things at the moment, and especially in possession. Every game they've played, they've caused any team all sorts of problems. So we'll be ready for that. Looking forward to it actually, and then see what we can do when we have the ball. It's two sides of football. So we've been doing some good things of late ourselves, and we want to continue that.
And some good things last season in the cup as well. Wins against your old club and against Spurs as well. So Middlesbrough in recent times seem to be up for these occasions.
Yeah, the boys have got good experience, and that them memories you got to draw on them at times for days like this, and that's what the FA Cup is. It's what it should be. It's what I grew up watching when I was young, and it was just a special occasion when it was FA Cup week, and especially FA Cup final weekend, and some good experiences myself in the competition. So I value it immensely, and the players do. So we're looking forward to it.
Was that after your time at the Old Trafford, the success from Middlesbrough? Was that just after you'd left?
Yeah, I'd gone by it.
Were you there that night? Or?
I wasn't, no, at that stage, no.
I just wondered whether that had maybe played a part in your decision, and you saw like the
I didn't actually know, but so no, I wasn't part of it, no.
In terms of the run that you're on in the Championship since you arrived, I think you're 21st, you're now up to 5th. I know you said last week you don't look at the table, but you must feel that the players are really responding to your methods and some.
Yeah, the boys have been great. I've said it since the start. They're prepared to come in and work and listen and apply themselves so well. And we've tried to do certain things. We try to tweak certain things and play in a certain way, as any new kind of manager and coaches would be, and try to do. And the boys have responded ever so well. And with that, a little bit of success, and then it's snowballed a bit from there. And we've managed to. The pleasing thing for me is we've had to do a little bit of all sorts to win games. It hasn't always came easy, and it hasn't been total free-flowing great football all the time. We've had to find a way to win, which is pleasing for me that we can do that when we need to.
And you've by and large sort of played the same team, a couple of players here or there. Do you look at this cup tie and think it's an opportunity to change things, or do you kind of go with what you've been doing and how well the team have been doing?
Yeah, that's the decision we got. I think it's not a straightforward one, and there's all sorts comes into it. One school of thought is once you're playing games and you're on a good run of form, you want to keep playing, you want to keep your rhythm, and you keep your momentum. And on the flip side, I value each player in the squad immensely, and they've all played a big part over recent weeks, and it's trying to balance that with giving everyone enough to be involved and still feeling fresh. So we'll balance it in some way. However way we go, that's a decision we've got to make. But even for this game or not this game, it's the squad's massive. We've got a big month obviously coming up and running to the end of the season, so we'll need everyone at some stage.
In terms of the transfer window, it's been widely reported that you've had Cameron Archer in here and it's close. Are you able to update the fans at all on that?
I haven't got any update at this moment in time. Hopefully we'll have over the coming days or weeks of players coming in to improve us, but right as I sit here I haven't got any update now.
Is he a player that you like and you'd like to bring to the club?
There's a few players we like and would like to bring in. I don't like speaking about individuals until it's done. It's not fair it's just almost not respectful to the other clubs and the player themselves. So I don't want to get too drawn down that line, I'm sure, as you appreciate, but we're definitely looking to improve the squad, as I've said for the last couple of weeks, and we got things going on at the moment. Hopefully that'll bear fruit.
Is that a position, the striking department, that you'd ideally like to strengthen if you could?
I'm open to strengthening wherever we can strengthen. I think it's important. We've got our eyes wide open. We're looking at the bigger picture, and we're not going down one route in particular at this stage. It's it's all new. We're new as a group, and we want to keep getting better and improving. So any way we can do that, on the pitch, off the pitch, within the squad, we're looking to do that.
Apologies if you've been asked this already, but Chuba Akpom obviously is the top scorer in the division. It sounds as though he's getting admiring glances from elsewhere, and understandably so. What is his situation at the club contractually? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, he's our player. We're delighted to have Chuba. He's been terrific since I came through the door. He's been brilliant. He's obviously got his headlines, as I keep saying, for scoring goals, but he's given us an awful lot more than that. He's our player. We're delighted to have him. Really, that's as happy as we are. Is
that a year and a half? Has he got another 18 months to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you must feel fairly confident that because of that you can keep him, even if there is interest from out west.
Yeah, the nature of the game is, when players are playing well, when you're playing well as a team, individually as a team, then people look from outside and trying to make their squads and their teams better. So that's the nature of the beast. We obviously don't want to lose our best players at all, because we feel that we're going in the right direction. So that's football. That's football. Everyone's trying to improve. Exactly what we're trying to do ourselves.
And I suppose it's amazing, the transformation. I know you touched on it last week and you probably speak about it a lot, but the transformation in his game, the fact that I think at the start of the season it looked as though he was going to be leaving the club. Now we're sitting here talking about other clubs being interested in him. It just shows the turnaround in his fortunes.
Yeah, it's performances. It's that's what everything comes from: performances on the pitch and doing the right things, working hard in training, but then performances on the pitch. And credit to Chuba. I don't know in terms of what before and the level he was at, but in terms of where he's been since I've been here, he's been absolutely fantastic and continues to be that every day in training. And so he's looking forward to the weekend for him hopefully to be involved and carry the run that he's on, because he's on a terrific run at the moment.
Thanks, Michael. Cheers.
Hi Michael, I just kind of wondered about what it was like looking forward to an FA Cup tie as a manager compared to as a player. You said growing up it was a competition that was really important. I imagine playing in it and winning in it was. Is it very different now when you're trying to balance different priorities as you go into that?
I don't think it's different. I think the excitement's still there and looking forward to it, and privileged to be part of the competition. I'm a massive fan of the FA Cup. I love it. I think it's such an important part in our game, in the history of our game in this country and throughout the world. So it's obviously a different responsibility now in terms of how we judge the game, what team we pick, but the excitement doesn't change.
And to do with the forward line, a bit like Keith was saying, we saw Crooks playing up front, and there's will Chuba stay, and will we bring in anyone new, and will Josh Coburn maybe come back? There's a lot going on there at the minute. Are you expecting some changes at the top of the pitch?
Just like I said before, we're trying to improve the squad. Everyone's done great whether they came in or come out the team for a game. The reaction, the application, the attitude's been absolutely spot on, and I think they understand as a group. You need everyone in the group to be successful, and it's not about individuals. Certain points individuals will shine and score or assist or what and get the headlines, but actually, it's to be a good team and be successful. You need different type of threats, which we have.
Sorry. And what do you make of your opponents this weekend? Obviously, an amazing form and really easy on the eye as well.
Yeah, good to watch, I have to say. Not as in terms of from a coach's point of view and how they're set up and the problems and they can cause and they have caused teams over recent weeks. So yeah, big respect for the way they've gone about things and the quality that they are. I think people maybe that haven't seen an awful lot of them probably wouldn't understand how good they have been and how good they are at the moment. So good challenge for us, great challenge for us as a club and as a group of players to go and test ourselves against the Premier League team who's doing great in the Premier League at the moment.
Great, thanks.
Simon, have you got anything?
Just one, just picking up on that really, Michael. Do you think it comes at an interesting time for you, this? Because you're flying, obviously, you're in great form, but as you've said there, you're playing a very good Premier League team. It's going to be interesting to sort of see kind of where you are measuring yourself against them.
In some ways it will be, yeah, but in some ways, that measurement for us is still the league, and where we end up, not so much where we are now. I keep saying it's where we end up and where you finish the season. Yeah, it's a one-off game, as we've seen. You know, things can happen in this competition, but we won't be getting carried away regardless of the result. I think I understand how good a team Brighton are and how difficult a game it is for us, but at the same point we're looking forward to it. Said to the boys, you've got to look forward to it, and in a good place at the moment, and you know, we want to perform and show what we can do.
Particularly in recent years, Michael, there's been plenty of kind of talk, debate about the magic of the FA Cup and whether it's still there, but hearing you talk, that sounds like there's still very much a magic competition for you.
Certainly for us it is, yeah. I think as you know, over recent years and the experiences that as a club we've had, and as a group of players and the success that they've had at certain times, it's what you play football for, you know, for the big occasion, to test yourself against you know, the best, and can you pull it off? Are you good enough to pull it off? You know, you need that little bit of luck at the right time on the day, but you know, as I say, it's for me, it's definitely there. The excitement and the kind of the importance of the competition is one we're looking forward to.
Yeah, and obviously in your playing career, many accolades, but actually, you know, mainly under Sir Alex, but actually it was the FA Cup winners' medal didn't come until later on, and after Sir Alex did it under Van Gaal, so one you had to wait a little bit longer for.
Yeah, I had to wait a bit longer, and fortunately in the end we managed to have some success. Lost in the final, ended up winning the final, and I understand that what an occasion that is. You know, it took us a while. We had opportunities that we probably should have won it before then, but nevertheless, you know, to win it once is amazing for me, and it was something I dreamed of as a kid, and as I said, watching the final was a huge day in the calendar for me, so that's probably why I'm sitting here looking forward to the game so much.
Yeah, and obviously as you've talked about, you wrestle with that dilemma of keeping the same team or changing it up a bit and bringing in fringe players, but presumably, you know, even if players who haven't been playing come into the side, you know, you're going to be wanting to win, and you're going to be wanting them to kind of go out and prove a point here.
Yeah, well, 100%. We want to win. I mean, that's why we're here, you know, trying to win games. Whatever team we put out is, I believe in the players, I believe in the squad, and yeah, we're definitely going to try and win the game, and we'll go out to win the game, and we'll do things within the game to be positive and to do what we can do and perform well, whatever players are out there on the pitch.
Just injury-wise, how are you looking? How's Matt coming on?
Same really. Same as what we've had, nothing different.
Yeah, how's Matt getting on with his back?
He's been training, but he's been out for a while, so we'll just be patient with him.
And just lastly from me, can I just ask about Matthew Hoppy, obviously a player who came in summer before you, obviously, you know, a bit of a difficult time in terms of game time and probably not playing as much as he wants, but since you've come in, how have you found him? How's he been?
Yeah, he's done well. I think we've you know, obviously we're fortunate to have good options really at the top end of the pitch, and you know, you'd like to give everyone more minutes and more opportunities, and for everyone to play. It's not always possible, but he's trained really well, and he's a really good lad, and he's been terrific in training. So, you know, just got to be patient, and like the rest of them, be ready for when you get that chance, and everyone so far has.
Yeah, and just like, you know, and if a new striker were to come in January, would potentially sending Matthew out on loan somewhere be something that might be looked at?
Ifs or buts, really. You know, in terms of not any individual in particular, I think it's just some might come in, some might end up going out in different ways. That's just have to wait and see how that goes.
Just on the back of that, Michael, if Cameron did come in, would there be any chance of Rodrigo going back to Fulham this month?
Same as ifs and buts, really. You know, until anything happens, there's not really anything to report. I think we're happy with the squad we have. Really good options at the top end of the pitch, and that's my job to kind of manage that. And I wish I could give them all more minutes, but it's not always possible. And the boys understand that. I've spoke to them about it anyway.
Obviously, a lot's been said about Josh out on loan, and a couple of others have gone out. Dan Dodds has come back. Suggestions he could go out. Will a few more youngsters be going out on loan before the end of the month? And what can they gain from those spells, those who do go out?
Yeah, it's a case for cases and individuals really. What's best for each player. I think it's not a kind of a blanket view of every young player has to go on loan. It's not a case of every young player has to go down a certain route. You know, some are further down the pathway than others. Some need a bit more football. Some need a little bit more training, a bit more coaching, and you know, each individual needs something different. I went on loan as a youngster and really benefited from it. To go out there and kind of struggle for, at the time it was only 6 weeks because the loan system was different, but I think it can be sometimes just as good to go on loan and struggle a little bit and find it difficult to come back and then kick on a bit, rather than finding a perfect loan all the time where you play loads of minutes and everything goes great. And there's a real balance to that, especially for the younger player who's needs experience and finding his feet in the game.
Is Hayden evidence of that? Because not that it went badly for him personally last year, but obviously Scunthorpe was struggling in League Two, but he's come back transformed really in the way he's kicked on.
Yeah, it reminds me similar to mine. I went to Swindon at the time, and for me being at West Ham, we were in the Premier League. Swindon were bottom of the Championship, and I went there and it was tough. Played, enjoyed it, but it was tough and different kind of world to what I was used to, and then come back to West Ham and kicked on, and Hayden's similar. That's what I mean. It doesn't always have to be the best team or playing the best football and winning all the games. Actually, to gain the experience you need as a young player, and that's the balance we've got when we're looking to help the younger lads and what's best for them right at that point in their career.
Is it what you learn off the pitch as well as on it, kind of having to fend for yourself maybe for the first time as a young lad? It's everything, to be honest. Sometimes it is just as important as a young man to develop and mature and find that off the pitch kind of belonging, if you like, and be ready for proper football, real life football, and making a living in the game. It's very different to coming through the ranks, and some boys need that, to find that in different ways. And can I just ask you about Tommy Smith? It feels like we've talked a lot about Ryan Giles, talked a lot about Dale and Darren and their success in your time in the Charge so far, but Tommy hasn't missed a minute. How important has he been for you?
Yeah, Tommy's been terrific. I think a lot of it for me is as well as what you bring to the group and the dynamics of the squad and the different personalities and characters within the group. And Tommy's definitely one of the vocal ones, and trains fantastically well every single day. He's a real example to the younger lads, and applies himself so well. And in the games he's done great for us. Position that he's really suited to, and I think he's done really well. And as I say, important member of the squad as much as anything in terms of the dynamics and the personality that he brings for us.
And whether it's Isaiah on the right or Marcus like in recent weeks, it must be nice for them to know they've got real security and protection behind them.
Yeah, that's the idea. I think that's what Tommy brings. You know, he's been around, probably won't like me saying it, but he's been around for a while now and gained a lot of experience and knows the game really well. And to play in front of him, and as I say, you know, he's vocal. He never stops talking and educating and guiding the ones in front of him. So it's really helpful to have him.
Thank you.
Hi Michael, I'm Louise from The Guardian. Much as you evidently love the FA Cup, is there a little part of you that's worried that it might have a detrimental impact on your league form, which is clearly the priority because of the finances? And I mean, last season this club had a wonderful cup run, but in the end it was disappointment again. How hard is that balance?
I'm not worried about it at all, to be honest. I think it's just it's the nature of what we compete in. You know, it's another competition for us to try and go as far as we can and win football matches. That's the competitive nature of individually is what I'm like, is the players are like, and it's what in front of us. Even me sitting here is kind of leading the group. And yeah, you look at it slightly different now than I did when I was a player. I've still got that competitive edge that I want to win all the games that I'm involved with, whether it's FA Cup or League or whatever other competitions. It's you can't take that away.
So you won't be doing an Alan Pardew or Rafa Benitez at Newcastle and naming a very weak team and deliberately, accidentally on purpose going out?
I don't think we've got a weak team, to be honest. Whoever we pick, I'm delighted to pick any of the players. So we'll see what we go with on Saturday.
And are you hoping Alexis McAllister comes back for the World Cup?
They've got good options, Brighton, to be honest. They've got really good options and a lot of players to choose from of really good calibre and good standard. He's obviously had a terrific couple of months and well done to him. But whether he plays or not, we'll have to wait and see. You know, as I said, they've got really good choice and really good standard of players. So whoever plays will have to be on our game for.
And every club's different, but can you see something of Borough in Brighton? Could they be a sort of feasible role model for you to with really, really good coaching and obviously infrastructure?
Yeah, they've done terrific. They really have done terrific. I think Graham's done such a good job of developing a lot of the players and developing the style of play and find themselves in the top half of the Premier League, and a lot of work is down to him and obviously a new manager coming in and taking that on again. Credit to them for the way they've gone about it. I think they've done it really well.
Thank you.
Robert, you got anything?
Yeah, going on from what Louise asked, I think last time I was here I was asking you about whether you would have to rest a lot of players because of the crowded Christmas fixture, and you said it wasn't crowded, and you were right, and it isn't in January. Does that help you going into this FA Cup match? But it's quite unusual, there aren't that many fixtures.
Yeah, there's not. I think we've got 3 midweek games till the end of the season, which it's not crowded at all. It's hence why we want to play football matches, play as many as we can, and try to keep winning and keep that run going.
And you obviously had tremendous success in converting Tuba to goal scoring number 10, Marcus Force goal scoring on the wing, and then Matty Crooks goal scoring in the future in the centre forward. Who's next, or what's next?
Listen, I'm not sitting here trying to be clever and trying to recreate anyone. It's just more of what we've seen and what fits the team, what fits certain players, and the boys that you're speaking about there, they've all done great. We've asked them to do slightly different things maybe. Marcus has played that position before, so it's not really that new to him, but again, going back to the very start, we say about the attitude and application, willingness to learn, and the boys have been unbelievable with that. And then, thankfully for us, getting some rewards so they can see the success and feel the success. Hopefully that keeps snowballing. And
finally, the supporters have just nominated the moment of the season, or the moment of the year last year, was Josh Coburn scoring in the FA Cup, because does that show that how big FA Cup moments can be?
Yeah, and it should be like that, it should be. It's why we love the game. It's to have big moments, big occasions for something to go right that you can celebrate and maybe over-celebrate that you wouldn't celebrate normally if it was just a run-of-the-mill league game, even though I hold the same importance to every game. But yeah, of course, you can't hide from the fact that there's a little bit of an extra special and feeling. I've been on both sides of them moments, so you understand what it feels like both ways.